Well, I think for the fourth year in a row, we've been able to get a top 10 class. Very excited. This is a top 5 class. Really addressed our needs. We need some ball handling guards. We needed another point guard. We're thrilled to get Allie Patberg. She is just a true point guard. She is incredibly smart, got a really high basketball IQ. She knows how to run a team. She's a phenomenal passer. I think our posts are going to love playing with her. She really can direct the offense, and expecting big things from her. Arike Ogunbowale is just a tremendous talent. She can really get to the rim. She is somebody that we would post up as a guard. She can defend. She can score in a lot of different ways. Had a tremendous success with USA Basketball in the championship game, getting to the free throw line, scoring down the stretch to win the gold medal for them in a really close game. So just thrilled with what she can do for us. And rounding out the class, we have Marina Mabry. Another Mabry from New Jersey. She is a tremendous talent as well. The thing about Michaela set the tone for her, and now we hope Marina can come in and break all of the three-point records that she is setting. But Marina is so much more than a three-point shooter. She can play many positions. She can play 1 through 4. She can play on the perimeter. She can go inside a little bit. She can post up. A really great passer. This may be the best group of passers we've ever had. So I expect that next year our assist to turnover ratio is really going to be good. But just thrilled with all 3 of them.
Coach, when you just think about, when you started with this program and where they were, and now here you are perennially getting top 10 classes, did you ever imagine it'd get to this point where you guys were kind of in that power spot?
I certainly imagined it. I was hoping it didn't take this long, actually. But we're really happy with where we are. I think we've gotten things rolling over the last 4 years with the success that we've had in the NCAA tournament, and I think kids see us on TV and they look like it looks like a fun place to play. I think our style is really up tempo. They like that, and so I think the chemistry on our team is tremendous, and I think that really helps us too.
Coach, with the young team, where are you as to where you hoped you would be or expected to be at this point, getting ready to start the season?
We're probably about where I thought we would be, which isn't far enough. I think that right now we've got a lot of things to work on. We still have a lot of things to put in. We've gone really slowly. I feel like I've tried to be patient with the freshmen, and I think I have been. I think that they're getting a little bit anxious to get in a game. I think the whole team would really love to stop practicing and start playing games. So we're at that point where there's practice has been difficult, I think, this past week, but they're working hard. I think we've seen a lot of really good things, tremendous talent. I mean, the young players are really, really good. They're just so inexperienced. It's a very different team than we were last year.
That was going to be one of my follow-up questions, was just how excited everyone was to get off the practice court and into some real game experience.
Yeah, I'd like to stay on the practice floor. I love practice, but for them, I think the fun for them is going to be playing in the games, and certainly Friday can't come too soon for them.
When you don't lose a game your first 4 months the previous year, and you lose 3 starters, seniors from that year and everything, is it a little bit more difficult to sail that along the way? There might be some growing pains.
We thought there'd be growing pains last year too. We talked about that in the beginning of the year. We're going to take some lumps early, and we're going to have a lot of games that could go either way, and we'll see what happens. And we overachieved last year. This year, I really mean it. We're going to take some lumps early. I mean, we really are young. We're so different than last year. We just don't know what's going to happen late in the game when adversity hits, when we get down, we get in foul trouble. When things start to spiral in the wrong direction, we don't know how we're going to react to that yet. And so that's something that I'm really anxious to see, how we're going to handle that sort of adversity. And we scheduled tough, so we're going to play some really good games early, and we're going to find out where we are really early.
And with the 2 point guards, Arike and Ali, that you got this year, Lindsay, possibly shift over elsewhere, or do you want to keep her at the point?
I like her at the point. She's really done a good job running the team. Arike really prefers the 2. So I think she would prefer to play alongside of Lindsay. I think that would be the best situation for both of us.
Johnson,
Michael Johnson's really coming along. She is, she missed the first 6 weeks of practice because of an injury. She's been sporadic in practice, and now finally, I think this last week's the first time she's actually practiced a full week. So I really like where she's heading. She can do everything that we need. She's a 3-point shooter. She can handle the ball. She can do a lot of great things. So we're really excited about her.
She's not so much a point.
No, she's not a point guard.
You ever coached a pair of sisters before? And what kind of dynamic is there? And knowing these two girls, I mean, do you expect that you might have to get between them a couple times?
You know, this is going to be so much fun. I think it will be great to see them on the floor together. I think the whole team loves both of them, so it's going to be great for the team chemistry. I think that Marina has a little bit more of an edge than Michaela does. I think that she will welcome the competition. I think she will like the physical play. I think she's somebody that's not going to tolerate losing. She's very, very competitive. So I think it will be fun to see some sparks fly when she gets here.
When you're recruiting, this might be a stupid question, but you've got one of the kids on your team, and you're recruiting the sister. Are there things that you have to be careful about? Does that add an extra dynamic when you go into the house to recruit? And does Michaela have to be careful too?
You know, I don't think it really was. It was no different at all for us in the way we approached. We didn't talk to Michaela about Marina very often. I mean, I tried to stay away from that because I really just wanted her to know we thought she was special to be here, and if Marina comes, great. But we're certainly not going to take anything away from Michaela if she doesn't come here. We thought the style of play would be great. You know, seeing how Michaela fit in and her role. Was something that Marina had to take a look at and decide if that's what she wanted to do or what her role would be. So I think it was very comfortable going in the home and knowing the parents already. So I think that part made it easier when they came out to visit. You know, we had a chance to talk quite a bit. So I think it made it a lot easier.
But as far as NCAA things,
yeah,
do you have to tiptoe?
The team. Michaela couldn't tweet about Marina committing when she did back in the spring, which seems a little silly because it was her sister and she wanted to tweet something fun about it, but nobody on the team could until she actually signed. So today you'll see a little bit more.
Coach, what are your expectations? First game of the season this Friday. What do you want to see from your team in that opening game?
I think the biggest thing we're looking for early on is the effort and the execution. Last year, we really did a good job taking care of the ball. This year, turnovers may be a little bit of a problem for us. So that's something that we really need to fix early on. So I think taking care of the ball, I think this may be the best rebounding team we've ever had. So we're really hoping to start that in a good way and get some big rebounding numbers from our posts, because our posts, this is as deep and as strong as we've ever been on the block. So we're really excited about the post game. So we want to see us play to our strengths. We want to see Jewel Lloyd have a fantastic game and start the year out and set a tone. That she is the player of the year in the nation. So I think we're looking for a lot of things execution-wise, defensively for sure. We want to know if we can lock down or not. So I think just getting under the lights in a game that means something will be great for the freshmen.
When you say they're a better rebounding team, is it a mentality thing or do they just have the mechanics?
I think both. I think it's definitely the skill. You have Brianna Turner inside. She's very mobile. She can jump quickly. She has a nose for where the ball is going to go. You've got Taya Reimer, who's strong and experienced. Jewel Lloyd as a guard, a great rebounder. Markeisha coming off the bench, Catherine Westbeld, and then Maddie. She's done a really phenomenal job at practice. So we've got two guards that are really rebounding as well as the post.
Taya has some more expectations coming into this year. How do you feel she's handling those so far?
She's really played well. She has come in with a new attitude, a new mindset, much more aggressive offensively. She's doing so many good things. She's scoring a lot of different ways. She's playing on the perimeter, facing up. She's been able to get to the free throw line, rebounding really well, and passing the ball pretty well. So I'm really excited about where she is.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach, I know the recruiting rankings are great sell points to fans, but how do you make sure that these players, when they do get here, don't get too hyped up in where they were ranked in high school?
I don't think that's been a problem here. I think the girls really, they want to fit in. They're such team players. They're so unselfish. Sometimes we have to ask them to do more. I think usually they come in, they want to defer to the upperclassmen. And so we really have to work a little bit harder to try to get them to really make an impact immediately. So that's something that we work on with them as soon as they get here.
You said coming into the season that you're going to have a base of 7 right now, but also what you did in Ferris State, do you see that number maybe increasing somewhat?
Yeah, I do. I think Michael Johnson made a great case for herself. I think she's definitely going to be in that next spot, and then Markeisha Wright is really coming along. So, I think going into this Friday, I think we've got 9 that are really solid.
Coach, how important is it for you to focus on this game instead of, being tempted to look ahead to Michigan State?
It's really easy to focus on the first game, I think, because there's just so much excitement for the freshmen and really for the fans and for the whole team. So this is going to be a good time for us to really just figure out what it's going to be like to play at home in front of the crowd, to get the game day down for the freshmen, because so many of them are going to be playing that it's really important for us to kind of set that tone. So we're excited about the first game.
And are you going to go with the same starting 5 as you did against Michigan State?
we will be.
Coach, could you talk about how important it is to have your staff intact when it comes to recruiting? You got 2 former head coaches and a dynamo like Neal that can go out and recruit. I mean, to have them together and understand where you're working, not only this year but in the future, it really paid off again this year.
You know, it's so great to have the same staff, mostly because how young we are. It's great to have at least a veteran staff, so we know what we have to do. We know how to get there. Individually, they work so well with their perimeter players or the post players. They're doing such a great job recruiting-wise. Obviously, over the years, another top 10 class. Neil Ivey, as the recruiting coordinator, deserves much of the credit. But all of them work so hard in going out and seeing games and trying to attract the best kids for our program. But it's so much easier to work with the staff. We have great chemistry on the staff. We get along really well. Everything we do, we're all competitive, and we're all trying to win.